Hi, we're here now with the candidates for Scranton Controller, and our first candidate this morning is Roseann Novembrino. Roseann, welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Andrea. It's a pleasure to be here this evening, or this afternoon.
What I normally do at this point is a brief bio of the candidate, but this year we now have an online voter guide, and our candidates have been filling out some bio information and answering a couple of additional questions online. So you can reach that information at lwvlackawanna.org. The new system is vote411.org, so we're really happy to have it this year. So we're going to point you to the website in order to get some additional information. So Roseann, we're moving right into questions then.
Okay, Andrea.
So the first question, and I should say that Roseann is the incumbent in the Scranton Controller's office. So the first question that I have for you is, what are the duties of this office?
Well, Andrea, the duties are so many of them. First of all, I'll start out with our emergencies. Emergencies occur when there's a flood, snow removal must be done in the city, just like we saw the flood now, many trees were down. When that occurs, both the mayor declares it and I sign it along with him. That gives the, say, the department head the authority to go ahead and order the contractors he needs to absolutely get the job done. And that's one of the things. Secondly, I also approve requisitions on a daily basis. We approve expenditures, not once. We don't look over the vouchers once, but twice. And as long as there is appropriation in that particular budget, I will sign off on it. However, for example, towards the end of the year, when I do sign off on the ones that do have appropriation, I don't sign off on those who don't. It does go up to fourth floor, and those are very, very crucial months. And the business administrator and the administration decide to hold them until monies do come in from our treasurer, from the single tax office, from licensing, from in lieu of taxes, money comes in from, things of that nature. So that's the second thing. We look over everything pertaining to the general cities, all the contracts, all the bidding procedures, requisitions, everything. And that goes for our monthly report. In our monthly report, we report every single expenditure in every single department. That goes to the mayor and also to council. The second most important thing is we do not wait for a monthly audit. We audit departments daily. It is so much easier to find if a check is placed wrong, or I'm just using that as an example, correct it immediately. The second thing that's most important, of course, is our annual report. And that cannot be completed until the auditors find out everything they need from various authorities, etc. That is truly behind. We do capital budgets, special cities, all the work from OECD, all the bidding procedures, all the contracts, everything like that.
Okay.
And of course, my secretary is in charge of doing the bidding.
Okay.
Also.
So Roseann, you are the incumbent.
Yes.
So the question is what, and we ask the same questions, of
Yes.
course, of all the candidates. So what qualifies you to run for this office? And I think from your perspective, why you and not your opponent?
I can only speak for myself. I think I bring forth my experience. I think that has to be an asset. You have to remember, I know every function that pertains to that office, and I feel very comfortable. I have a wonderful staff, and I truly feel we do a good job for the people of Scranton. That's one of the reasons, and my love of the office and the people I serve is a very important thing also.
Okay. So Roseann, what do you believe is the appropriate role for the city controller in the city's budget process? And are there any changes that are needed at this point?
Well, you have to remember, a controller has no say in the budget. That is done by the mayor, and then it's sent to council. I could plead for my jobs that are cut in the office. I could send letters, but I don't have the authority. I could recommend, but I don't have the authority to implement anything in the budget.
Okay. According to the city's home rule charter, the Controller's Office is responsible for providing monthly and annual reports on the city's fiscal health to the mayor, council, and also to the general public.
Yes.
Is your office funded and capable of delivering all expected audits and reports in the prescribed timeframes, and why or why not?
They are. We do that monthly, and that's never a problem. I have an open door policy. If anyone would like to come in my office and if they ask for a monthly report, I certainly will grant them that report. It's always there for them.
Okay. What improvements are needed in your office, and what's your approach or plan to address them?
Well, I wish I had an understanding and a better say on how they cut jobs. That's the one thing I wish they would speak to me about. Because I used to have 12 in the office. I am down to bare 5 plus myself and my solicitor. And every person I have one person doing 4 jobs. And I just wish I had more authority over that.
Okay. How easily can the public access financial information about the city, and how can your office contribute to increased transparency and availability of information on the city's finances?
All they have to do is walk in the office, ask me for anything I could possibly give them. I always try to accommodate whoever walks in my office with any information they seek.
Okay. Roseann, do you believe that this position should continue to be an elected position or appointed by the mayor and or council through a process of open competition? And why or why not? How do you feel about that?
Because a controller is like, should be like on an island by itself. I absolutely always want to be positive. Anything the mayor is doing in a positive outlook, I want to be part of. As far as council is concerned, any single time they have asked me for any information or to seek any investigation, I always abide by that. I try to stay in the middle of that because I honor both positions, and I'm there as an elected office to serve the people, and that's the best way I could serve them.
Okay. Roseann, that's all the questions that we have for you today, but you have 2 minutes for a closing statement.
Thank you, Andrea. It's always a pleasure to be here, and being available to the public like this is great. I'm so very proud of our police force, our fire department, DPW, but I do feel that the clerical, union and non-union, are truly the unsung heroes of City Hall. You have to remember, they are the backbone of City Hall. And when they are in a position, they know it so well. It's a nightmare at the end of the year because both council and the mayor, they do their slashing and whatever, and these clerical workers never know what position they're going to be put into. They have to learn a job immediately. I know it's in their contract to bid onto another job, but I just wish that they could remain in the positions they're in because they're so wonderful at what they do. I have a very good rapport with every single one of them in City Hall, and I really am pleased with their work. They're always so cooperative, and second thing that I find very important, and I always say this, I have a certain rule. That is, I don't have voicemail. I never, ever refuse to call. In fact, my secretary is not even allowed to ask who's calling. Just put that call through. You never need an appointment to see me because you have given me the privilege of serving you, and it's your office, and I'm serving you, and I thank you for that privilege. It's certainly an honor, and I also am proud of being the very first female controller in the city of Scranton. Thank you, Andrea. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Roseann. That concludes our interview with Roseann Novembrino. Don't forget, visit lwvlackawanna.org for Vote 411, which is our online voter guide, and you'll see some additional bio information about Roseann, as well as answers to a few additional questions. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you. Are we still on?